What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm JLAG.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Riverdale Season 3, Episode 16. And it's called Chapter 51. Big
Fun. And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, our MVPs, because you know we're going to have some good ones. So stick around for that.
And as always, to all our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us get into this episode.
Let's get into it, because why not sing through the whole recap?
Yeah, I feel like this happened. I feel like this happened last time when we watched the Carrie musical. We were like, let's just sing now forever.
So
what did you think?
Quick thoughts.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
This really brought me back to like what Riverdale is on the fun side of things. Like, you know, we talk about season 1 and how great it was for like the story and the characters, but this like made it so campy and so fun to watch, which I think Carrie did too. So it was cool, and like the cast is so freaking talented. Like they're so good. It was so fun to watch everybody like happy and enjoying their lives for the first time ever. I mean, except for Veronica maybe, but everyone was like living their best life this episode, and I was so happy. How about you? What'd you think?
No, I completely agree. I effing loved every single second of it. From the writing to like even the cinematography, like every aspect I think of this episode's production, I was so impressed with. The acting, I was like, guys, this is why I love you, because your acting, everybody was amazing this episode. Like even Kevin, even Fangs, like everyone was so good. Yeah. And it made me so happy. Like KJ made me so happy. I was like, he's so lit. You know?
He's just like the ball of light that we all need in our lives.
And it's funny because I did notice that you could tell like they definitely got more comfortable with it from the Carrie one.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Especially with KG. But yeah, we'll get into it. No, I think we both liked it. I'm super impressed. I can't wait to watch it again.
Like, it was nuts. Yeah, it was fun to watch. Yeah, it was crazy. So let's start off with Hermione, the mayor, in Principal Weatherby's office with Kevin and Evelyn. And first of all, I was like, thank God somebody's saying how dark and depressing this actual, you know, movie is. Like, everybody loves the Heathers for some reason. It's a cult classic, and you know, obviously we've talked about the fact that it has a lot of Mean Girls references and it's like iconic for the time, but we both watched it and we both had feelings that were like, it's really fucking dark.
No,
like,
it was really fucking dark. It was too dark. Really it was dark. Like, and I know some people love that kind of tone, like much respect to you, but it was so, it felt campy, and then it turned, it like took a really dark, fucked up turn, and I was like, wait, what? Like,
it wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't even that it was like, it wasn't even that it was dark in that sense. It was almost like it was like too surreal for me to like really like get a grip on it. Like, if you're gonna go that direction and get murderous, then like go all the way, and like I'm gonna love that anyway. But wasn't.
They did. They killed like 3 people. Yeah,
but then it gets like really weird. Like there's like all these little weird dream sequence scenes that got like very like meta. And then he blows
himself up.
Right. Yeah, there's like, a lot of weird things.
What? Anyways, but the thing is with this episode too, like I did love it, but it doesn't really get into like the film part so much.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of throws to it, but like I was telling Jay that like if you didn't watch the film, you'd probably like still like be fine. Like you'd be like, oh, okay, I got it all, you know?
Like at this point, like just watch the musical, because like
totally.
The songs were lit.
So anyway, it kind of starts off with like Hermione being like, but why the F are you guys doing Heathers, right? And like then Kevin like answers that question basically
in a song. He's like, but wait. And then so he starts. The choreography in the beginning, I have to say, was like pretty funny to watch, because like they were basically doo-wopping down the hallway.
Yeah, his dancing was so fun. I'm like, what are you doing?
And like, no shade to Evelyn. Like, no shade to Evelyn, but like she has the most awkward dance moves, like probably even more than KJ Appa does.
You know what freaks me out about
I was like, what's going on with her hips right now?
And it definitely her dancing, and like also, and I know this sounds mean, I'm sorry to like the actress, because like she really was amazing in this, but I feel like she has like crazy eyes sometimes. Like I feel like her eyes are like really like open and wide. So I'm like, whoa, like it's scary. But maybe she's like playing into that because like she's supposed to play like a sketchy character.
Absolutely. She definitely has those eyes that are very expressive, and like you don't know what, like, whether or not she's being conniving or not, because like they're always like looking and like aware of stuff, so it's like really creepy. But no, anyway, so they're singing their song, and then Veronica is singing in Pops, and she's like, I'm looking for a new bouncer, and then
I love how it's like help wanted bouncer.
I know. I was like, since
what about security guard? What about like naming it something better?
Or just say like help wanted. That's the end. Like I never seen a sign like
bouncer
that.
/ part-time
please.
dick.
So then it cuts to Archie, and they're singing in Archie's room, and they're so freaking cute. This episode, so I was cute. Dead.
They are so effing cute. Like if they're cute in their regular moments together, just talking, get ready, because like, they are even cuter singing. When they're singing. Like
they're so freaking cute. And then it cuts to Jughead and Betty, and they're not singing in the beginning. She's like, what's going on with you? We're going to find, Jughead's like, we're going to find this drug lab, and we're going to blow it up and find a way to like get rid of it. And then Betty's like, don't worry, boy.
When she turns around, I died. Because she like turns her head. She's like, I'm going to come for you. And it was like, whoa, I didn't expect that.
Guys, this is going to become a recap rewind musical episode.
But it was really good, yeah. And then what does he say at the end? I'm like, is he going to sing?
Like, just not today, which is a part of the song. And I was like, oh my God, Cole's voice. Like, we finally heard it for the first time ever.
He has a really, like, it's a pretty okay, like, singing voice.
He has a pretty good voice. But I have to
say, like, Twitter is so wet for fucking Cole Sprouse. Like, anything this guy does, I'm looking at our Twitter feed, and it's just blowing up. Like, Cole Sprouse, like, Jughead, Bughead, like everyone loves them so much.
I mean, they were so freaking cute this episode.
They were, but so was Archie.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's true.
But it's just like Bughead is just very iconic, I guess.
Yeah, so they're singing, everyone's singing, they all ended up in the auditorium, and like again, it's like the choreography was just like so funny to watch, because it was.
What does Hermione say? Because Hermione killed me.
What did she say? I don't know.
Yeah.
At one point in time, like I think they're in the hallway, and they're like, we are so depressed right now. And she's like, are you guys all this miserable all the time? And I was like, yeah, they literally are. They're like,
have you watched season 3, mommy? Have you watched season 3? Because they're dealing with real shit.
And then it shows the Heathers in the
hallway.
They're in the hallway.
Yeah.
And they're
and then I love this moment.
Kevin is like introducing them. They're like, Cheryl is the HBIC, and she's like the main Heather. And then it shows all of them, and they're singing. They're like, Heathers. Like, guys, I'm gonna stop myself from singing, but it's gonna be really, really hard.
They looked so effing good together. Like Cheryl, Veronica, Betty, like they looked so good. I was like, I want them to be friends like all the time.
I know, but they're also mean girls in the movie, so like maybe like not that for that reason.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. But, like in the episode, they weren't that mean. Like it didn't get to that level where the film got to. So
right. So yeah, then it finally ends with in the auditorium. Everyone's doing that final like hands in the air, like waving, and it's very much mirroring last season. There was a lot of moments that were almost exactly the same shot as what they were showing last season, which was giving me anxiety because we all know how last season ended with the, Carrie musical. So yeah, this all ends in the auditorium, and then it cuts to the Riverdale title card, and then it cuts back to the auditorium, and everybody's just like talking like normal. They're not singing anymore.
No, it doesn't cut to the title card yet, because Cheryl, when Cheryl says that thing, it cuts to the Riverdale. It cuts her off, which I love that moment.
Yes, very good point. So it cuts to Evelyn talking about the fact that she is the co-director now. Kevin's like, she's a co-director. So Kevin's like, she's gonna do the co-directing. Everyone's like, okay, like fine. And I kind of like how like everyone was sitting in the seats, like because there's drama going on too, and I love that they brought that into like, for sure, into the episode as well. Like Reggie was sitting like far, like like everyone was like far in their own little Veronica. Like groups. Yeah, I love that. Like Sweet Pea was in the corner, so then everybody's kind of calling out their roles, and it was interesting because Josie was at the front because she was playing Veronica, who is Winona Ryder's character, and Archie's playing like one of the football jocks. So he's in the back corner with Reggie, and Reggie's like, yeah, we're just like single bros, like just singing songs. And they like have a look with each other, and I was like, true, they like, no one knows about our Josie, and it's making me very upset.
The one thing that annoyed me, and I always wait for this, I don't know if you guys like listening, but like if you guys wait for this too, but I wait for the reaction shot. So like when Reggie's like sitting there acting all like big shit, he's like like single boys together. Like I would think he would cut to Veronica's face and be like, ugh, like freaking Reggie, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like it doesn't cut to anyone, so I'm like, so okay, like who cares? You know?
I know, yeah, it's true. Because she's like over it now. She's like, I'm done now.
Yeah, I think you kind of just expect it to like cut to one of them, like maybe Josie, maybe Veronica, like whoever, but it doesn't cut to anyone. So I'm like, okay, cool, Reggie, like sit down. Like no one cares.
And then Kevin announces that Tony is the choreographer, and that's when Cheryl snaps. So she says,
God.
So she says a line.
That she was gonna be the choreographer.
I know, like, well, I guess
why?
also, I guess, no, I think it's just because it's Tony. She's like, geez, that Tony's even,
because she was
like,
kind of like
vicinity.
itching in her seat because Kevin was like, and our choreographer is gonna
True.
be, and she's like, yeah.
True. That's a good point. I mean, we all saw how her choreography went when she went off with like Veronica during that dance off. So maybe not.
Yeah,
girl.
she killed it though.
So she says she says a twist of an iconic line from the Heathers. The original line is "fuck me with a chainsaw," but she says, "Does anyone have a chainsaw?" Cause then she gets like really pissed off that
Tony's there.
That Tony's there. Then it cuts to the credits, and then it cuts back to everybody laying down in the lounge. Like this is the shot that we saw in the trailer, and we're like, what's happening here? So everybody's laying down. They're doing a practice, and Evelyn's just getting all like zen about it. She's like, you know, like, get into your deep, dark thoughts, and like, we're all alive, but we're all dead. And like, it keeps cutting back to Betty just rolling her eyes the entire time. And so then it cuts back to the auditorium, and Tony is like trying to teach the choreography. She's like, 1 and a 2, and Cheryl's like, get the fuck out of here. I got my own choreography.
I have to say, you know, I hate people being petty, but I fucking love Cheryl Watson being petty. She is amazing. Like, she's so entertaining.
She's really good at being petty. Yeah, like, it's true.
It's just who she is, and you love it and you embrace it, and like she does it so well.
She does it really well. So she gets petty AF, and she's like, nope, I already did my own choreography. This is how we're gonna do it. And Kevin's trying his best, but like, this man does not know how to direct.
So
like,
useless. So like next season, Kevin, sit down. Like, you can't.
Like Evelyn's doing more directing than you are,
yeah,
and Cheryl's basically bulldozing you. So get out of here. Like, don't even bother. So Cheryl's singing Candy Store, which is a really good track off of the musical. And she does this crazy high kick, and I cannot wait to GIF it, guys. I'm so excited.
This episode was like GIF everywhere. Like GIFs everywhere.
GIFs everywhere. So she's doing high kicks, and then Tony jumps in, and she... Guys, this was one of the funniest moments ever. Tony starts to dance because she's trying to do her moves, and she's got her pretty poisons in the background. They're like, like dancing. And Tony at the same time is singing. This is the part that was funny to me because I was like, Tony, you're just the choreographer. Like, nobody asked you to be the main singer. But they're like singing and dancing off, and Cheryl's just like, at one point in time, she's like, shut up, Tony! Like, it was
so good.
Funny. It was just so good to watch. I was dying of laughter. And so finally, Cheryl finishes the number. So she's like, and I am done, bitch. And Tony's just like, fuck this shit. She's just over it. At this point in time, like, are we supposed to really care the fact that they're fighting this hard?
No, I think a part of it is like, it's so entertaining. And you know what happens at the end where Tony's like, what are we even fighting about? I think it's almost like that. Like, they don't even know what they're fighting about. So I know that it's not coming from like this really like dark, sad place. You know that they're going to make up at some point. It was just effing so funny.
It was just funny to watch for sure.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Betty and Evelyn, and they're just kind of in the corner. And Betty's like, I'm onto you, girl. I know that you're recruiting for the farm with this crazy production that's being co-funded by you guys. And Evelyn's like, yeah, I mean, we're only here to do big fun. Big fun. And then she just like screams, and then she jumps on the piano.
Did she sing at all?
Yeah, she did. She sang like most of Big Fun. Oh. I remember because I was like, what are you doing, girl? So anyway, so she gets up and she was like, we're going to have it to get together tonight at Sisters of Quiet Mercy. It's going to be like a pre-rap party for the cast. And she's like, come in costume. It'll be like fun or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. It's going to be a little house party, which I'm down for. Even though there were nuns that got murdered there and it's like a really sketchy castle, like weird, but fine. So then it cuts to FP and Jughead, and Jughead just kind of like lurking in because he doesn't want to tell FP what's the tea, but at the same time he's like, have you heard anything about drugs, basically?
Yeah, because like, there's this huge elephant in the room with like Jughead knowing that his mom was a freaking narco dealer, basically, in Riverdale.
Exactly.
And his dad has no idea, and his dad's like basically stressing out, being like, there's a narco dealer in Riverdale and I don't know who it is. So,
yeah, because he's like, literally the sheriff. Like, he's trying to take her down.
This poor man is like stressing, trying to figure out who it is, and Jughead knows. So it's kind of like, when is this gonna blow up? Right. When is Jughead gonna tell him? But like, yeah, FP's like working hard. Like, he's putting in the OT as the sheriff.
He totally is putting the OT. So he said that someone stole their old trailer, which was kind of sad. And he doesn't seem like that bent up about it. I thought they lived in their trailer. No, they moved, remember, to the Cooper Res.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that's why she put the drugs in there. Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, so someone stole the trailer and someone stole like a bunch of pharmaceuticals. So Jughead's like, obviously someone's doing drugs. Can I help you find the trailer?
Yeah.
And FP's like, that's the old life. Like, we're like in the new house now. We don't need that damn trailer anymore. So Jughead's like, but I'm gonna go find it.
By the way, it's so weird that they live in the Cooper house. It's so effing weird.
Yo, I glitched the fuck out when I first. Still. Yeah, it looks exactly like their house. Nothing's like different.
They're just like.
I got confused in the beginning. Airbnb. First I thought Betty was Alice, and I'm like, why is the whole Jones family at the Cooper residence?
I felt like they should have painted it or something, made it look a little different, because it just looks like they walked in on the set and it's like their house now.
Exactly. So then it cuts to the lodge residence, and Veronica's like,
get your tissues ready.
Ooh, get your tissues out, girls. And so she walks in, she's like, I'm going out with my friends tonight. And Hiram's like, so just as an FYI, like, I'm separating from your mom. And Veronica's like, face crack. She's like, the fuck? She's like, why are you guys, what's going on?
What do you mean? You guys have the best marriage ever. I'm so shocked.
She's like, yeah, so he literally leaves. He like stands up and he's like, I'm going to the 5 seasons.
I love how pissed he was though in this moment. Like, he, like, this whole time I really thought that it'd be Hermione leaving Hiram, and like, you know,
True.
But it was really flipped, and it was like, no, I'm leaving her. I'm gonna go to the 5 seasons, whatever. And Hermione just sits there and she's like crying, not really. Like, whatever.
And he's like, she's like, why are we doing this? And he's like, ask your mom. And then he dips. And then Hermione is like, basically says that he found out about us selling the drugs and doing all that stuff behind his back. And even in this moment, I know that like more gets revealed later, but like even in this moment, I'm like, that's too weak of a reason for him to want to leave you. Like, I was like, that's stupid.
Well,
just because.
I was surprised that he didn't bring up, or that she didn't bring up, that he found out that she was fucking Minetta. Like, that never came up.
Well,
she was having a full-out affair.
Exactly. I mean, it happens literally later, right? Like,
he says that part.
He doesn't say the affair part. That's true.
That's what I mean. So that never comes out. So like, if Vance finds out about that, he's gonna be even more pissed.
He's gonna fucking kill her. So anyway, so Veronica's just gagged, and so she goes to this party. She's like, I need some libations in my life.
Yeah.
And so everybody starts singing Big Fun, which is basically the huge song from the Heathers musical. Check it out if you haven't already. But anyway, now you have the Riverdale version, so just listen to the Riverdale version. But everybody's just like singing, and it's such a fucking party. It's like watching
so lit. Oh my God. I was like, can I be there right now?
Yeah, it's like watching a house party, but like a musical version of it, and like literally all your friends are singing and dancing at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like what I would imagine like going to a drama school and everybody like at a cast party, like everybody just singing and dancing all the time, doing backflips, and like don't get me wrong, everybody was doing backflips, like fucking Archie was like jumping on shit, like Reggie was jumping on shit, like it was just this crazy nutty thing. And it was just fun to watch. It was a great performance. Everybody did a great job. Veronica and Reggie literally like go into the corner and she's like, let's have sex.
Yeah. It was like the weirdest cut because like they're all dancing and then it just like cuts to her room and like they've like had sex. I'm like, what? Yeah. What?
I was like, wow, they literally just left and went to go have sex. I was like, wow, that's good for you guys, I guess. Like, sure. And Kevin, all I wrote down was Kevin has a perm, and I like couldn't even deal with it. His perm was so next level. I was dying of laughter.
His
and I was
perm
like,
and his nipples. I kept looking at his nipples because his nipples were like hard the whole time.
I can't with you right now. That is the funniest thing. I noticed it too, but I didn't want to say
I'm like, why are his nipples hard the whole time?
Oh my god. It's so funny that you mentioned that. Yeah. I don't feel like a perv now, guys.
Well, because he was there the whole time. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are your nipples out and about? He's like so excited to do this musical.
It must have been cold up in there, guys. Yeah. Must have been cold. So anyway, it cuts to like basically everybody. Sweet Pea sees Archosi like making out in the corner.
Oh yeah.
So that's the face crack. Cheryl gets She's a Tony again. And then, it was just like this big major performance. And then, as we mentioned, it cuts to Reggie and Veronica and they're sleeping in bed. And they're like, hey, how's it going?
So like super cute. So what do you think? I want to know what you think about like Veggie at this point in the game. Like, where do you see them? Do you want to see them together?
I don't think I do. And I think that the way it all kind of ends later makes the most sense. Like the way that way he breaks it down for her, how it all kind of ends. It was a really cute moment, but you can definitely tell that it came from a place of desperation for her. Like there was no, like it didn't, I wanted to believe that there was romance there, and obviously Reggie wanted to believe that too, but literally he's like, we're endgame, and she's like, make out with me. Yeah, like, she didn't even want to speak.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this now because I might forget later on, but I did love how he does say that. He's like, are we endgame? And he's so thirsty. So I'm like, wow, like Reggie, come on, like don't be that thirsty. But then by the end of it, he's the one who really makes that decision to be like, we're not going to do this anymore. Like, it's not a good time.
Right.
So I did love how they did that with his, like for his character, where they gave him that like good ending kind of like, okay, I'm not too thirsty. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like he kind of stood up for himself at the end of it all, which was kind of cute.
That happens later. But yeah.
So then it cuts to Kevin back at the party, because like obviously like these guys are like literally they ran to like the room. I don't know where this room is, but they literally ran to it because everybody's still at the party. So he's talking to Evelyn and she's like, here, have a piece of candy, like it's just like wink wink wink, like delicious, wink wink wink.
Like what the hell?
It's obviously laced with like cocaine at this point, and like who knows what it's laced with. So he goes down the hallway and he takes a sip of water from an old school water fountain, and he looks up and he sees Midge hanging on the wall, and instead of like seeing what it said, like what the Black Hood wrote, it basically says like, it's your fault, I'm dead, Kevin, and it's all your fault. And then Midge is still alive, and she like looks at him.
She's like, hey boy, what you doing over there?
She's like, it's all your fault, bitch, love you. And
so then, obviously he feels like guilty for her death.
Right, but I kind of laughed at the fact that like they literally brought the actor back
they
just
brought
so
her
she
back.
could hang on a wall for like 5 seconds. I was like, wow, you're on the playbill. Okay. Anyway, so then it cuts to the next night and everybody's hungover. And Evelyn's talking to the cast, and Kevin's basically just like breaking all the tea. She's trying to like break everybody
she's
down.
Trying to like she's trying to like tell everyone like tell me your like darkest worries, or like what you're sad about basically, or like what's happened to you in season 3. Just recap it for everyone.
Just recap everything for us, please.
Yeah.
So Kevin's basically like, I've been haunted by Midge's ghost ever since I started this production. And then Fangs out of freaking nowhere is like, me too. But then I remember like he was one of the last people they saw, like that she saw. So I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, that's such a random connection.
And then Sweet Pea, no, this part killed me. Like I was like, what the F?
I was like, why is this becoming nowhere? It's such like a freaking like confessional.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Like I'm gonna say like I'm so cheese because me and Josie had a thing for a minute in the summer. Her face, I literally burst out laughing. She was like, wanted to God, like here we go into again.
Like the ground. Loser. She was like, please kill me dead. Now.
Oh my God, it was the best moment ever. She's like, no.
Yeah.
And then I guess right then you notice that Archie and Josie are like together.
Well, right? he was like, yeah, I was cheesed that like art, like, me and Josie were a thing, but now I see that like she's hooking up with Archie, like they're together now, and like he basically outs like Archie and Josie,
which was like the best moment because I was like, thank you, finally we're talking about some real shit over here. Like
somebody is discovering this relationship, for God's sakes.
So Veronica looked cheese for sure. She was like, what? Like,
Veronica was gagged, and then Betty was gagged. Like, she was like, OMG, that's so amazing. Are you guys together or what? She was so excited for them. You guys didn't
even tell me. Yeah,
I know. She was like, we literally watched you fight last episode. Yeah. You guys didn't even talk about the fact that you're together.
Yeah.
It was so random. But yeah, Veronica was like cheese, and that made her even more depressed because then Veronica's like, do you have anything else to share? Like Evelyn asked this question, and Veronica's like, my parents are separated right now. I'm like really sad.
Well, it was funny because first Reggie's like, oh, like that's why you want to fuck me, Veronica, because like Archie moved on, and then she looks at him, she doesn't even say anything, she's like, my parents are separating. Doesn't even care about him.
She's like no, I can't even get to this. That's not the reason. Yeah. And then Evelyn's like, look at all these breakthroughs / like dirt that she can have on all these bitches. I was like, you guys are so stupid. Like obviously Evelyn's gonna use this shit against you. She's sketchy as fuck. Anyway, so then it cuts to Josie and Archie, and they're in the other, like, the common area, and he talks to her, and he was like, so, girl, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Like, are we
because she was really cheese. Like, she stormed off. She's like, oh, Sweet Pea. Like, why did he... Like, she was so mad about that. And then Archie's like, what's the problem, though? Like, we are, like, boyfriend and girlfriend, aren't we? And she's like, nah. she's like, I don't want to be
we're not together because of that. She's like, we got together because we're lonely. Is that, like... a good bedrock to like start a relationship? And
it's
he
like,
was
girl,
like,
everyone gets together because they're lonely.
Like, that's like
every single relationship in the universe.
Everybody's relationship. Like she was just being so extra.
Yeah,
anyway,
she's being so dramatic.
So he was like, okay, fine, I see how it is, and then he like dips. He gets pissed off. So
cute though.
And then it cuts to Veronica and Reggie in the theater, and like everybody's already gone by now, and so they're just talking, and he like basically says, he's like, oh, this is why, you want to get back together because of your parents. I'm really sorry about it, but like I don't think I can do this while you're in this situation because it's like it's too close to him, and I understand why he did it because like he doesn't want to get hurt again,
Yeah, no, for sure. It made
what
sense.
Did you
and
think
like
of-
I honestly like I loved him even more because he said it. Like he's not just gonna be her bitch boy, like he's not gonna sit there and like whatever. He was like he actually stood up for himself and was like, no, like this is not the right time for us or whatever, and that's it. So I really like respected him for that, for sure.
I respect you, Reggie.
But that's what I mean. Like they gave him such an amazing moment, and I feel like they've never given Kevin that kind of like, I did this and it was amazing and like I did it for myself respect,
Yeah.
Like why don't we ever see? Sure. I'm just saying, like Reggie had one effing moment and like he got a pretty sick moment to like kind of like resolve his character, and I feel like other characters don't really get that.
Well, yeah, Kevin specifically, but like I can't even talk. I literally can't even talk about Kevin anymore because like I'm done with him. I'm done with his character. I'm done with like how they're writing him. Like I'm at a loss at this point. So then it cuts to Evelyn and Cheryl in the bathroom, and Evelyn walks in while Cheryl's getting ready, and she's like, you should like come out into the hallway because like something's going down. And I was like, ooh, something's going down. And then she walks out, and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and it shows
pissed.
like and then I thought it was like this major moment, and then it turns out that it's like Tony's wearing red, guys. Like
I thought it was like Tony was talking to the other girl. That's why she was like pissed. I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, bitch, you're wearing red color in my school. I'm like, oh, it's only because of that.
Like that's what you want to fight about right now? Okay, cool. But like you said, like her getting petty is like the real.
For sure.
She's like, red is my color. I invented red in this school. I am red. And I was like, damn.
When my period comes, you don't even know because I am red.
I own your period and every bitch's period in this school. So she's like,
Tony doesn't care. She's like, bitch, what? Like, you don't own the color red. Like, it was there before you. It was there gonna be after you, whatever.
She's like, fuck you. She's like, get
and then
out
like
of
those
school.
two randos get behind Cheryl. I was like, who are you guys? Like the Betty and Veronica knockoff. Like, where was Betty and Veronica?
Like, could they not just throw, like, not to mention this for the 50,000th time, but could they not throw the Pussycats in one more time?
Dude. Oh my God. That's so true.
No, guys, we can officially now say that they've missed.
Yeah.
They literally missed two musicals. They're dead. Like, they're gone from the show. Oh, that's R.I.P. So I feel so bad. Like, it just you guys totally put sucks. Fangs
like, and Sweet Pea into it, and you didn't put Val and Melody. Like, oh my God.
Like, bro, are you serious right now? Why? Like, why would you do that to them? Like, it's so tight. Anyway. What the fuck? So anyway, she starts singing, but no, wait, does she start singing? No, Tony starts singing. But before she starts singing, Cheryl's like basically like, get out of this school by the end of the week. And I was like, damn, this like breakup like went real high, real fast. Like she's basically threatening to kill her if she doesn't leave
Tony's
the school
like,
for wearing red. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Like, okay, it's a little excessive. But then Tony's reply to that was like really excessive. And she was like, I'm going to have an orgy on the stage. She's like, Sweet Pea, come with me. And then like another girl.
Yeah.
One of the Poisons. And she's like, come with me. And she's like singing.
Yeah. Her name's like Peaches and Cream apparently in the comics. Like she's an actual character. But she's also one of the Pretty Poisons. Yeah. So yeah. She's like, come with me, guys. And
I did like this song though. I think that was probably one of my favorite songs of the episode.
Dead Girl Walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did it. It was a good performance. Like she did it. But then the craziest moment was literally like they're on the stage, guys, like in a public space,
and they're both taking off their clothes. Like Sweet Pea's like in his undies at this point.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna do this, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and they literally strip down to nothing. Peaches is basically stripping down to nothing, and then Tony, as she's singing, she sees Cheryl in the corner, but it's like a vision of her, and Cheryl's singing to her. She's like, yes, we can be together, and then like as soon as she finishes her song, she's like, I can't do this, guys, and then she leaves these poor guys on the stage like half naked. Yeah. I was like, that's so tight, Tony. Like, what the hell? So anyway, it was kind of random. It was like,
random,
why?
But I liked it. It was very much like a musical kind of moment, I think. So
for sure,
cute.
But
it was cute.
I also just wanted them to just like have an orgy. Like, what was the problem here? Like, what's the issue?
Like, you
what's
got
the
all
issue,
the way there.
guys? You guys got like literally 90% there. Like, just go all the way. So then it cuts to Jughead in the bunker, and he's telling all of his people, like, go find this trailer for me. I need to find it. And then he talks to Betty, and Betty's like, you're gonna come. He's like, Betty, are you gonna come with me? And she's like, actually, there's a closed rehearsal at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. I'm gonna go check that shit out anyways, like on the side.
Yeah.
So she goes to Sister of Quiet Mercy, and she can overhear them singing. The song is called Our Love is God. And she like peeks through the door, and it's like this freaking whack ass like setup with everybody in white, and Kevin and Fangs are in the middle, and they're praying / like singing to each other / having a wedding.
So that scene that you see with everyone sitting in white with those 3D glasses on, it's from the film.
Yeah,
it's so from that's like when like one of them dies.
Yes. It's like a fantasy moment.
But nobody, and like nobody's dead in Riverdale, but it's just
right.
Kevin and Fangs.
So I guess they like mashed it all together. They got them to sing the song, but I don't know what was weirder, like the setup or the fact that like Kevin and Fangs are singing to each other, or the fact that Kevin and Fangs literally fucking kiss each other. Like, what the fuck is happening,
I was really
guys?
confused. I was like, okay, cool, I guess.
Like, let's move on.
Like, is that going to be a thing now? I didn't. I don't know.
But also, guys, as you know, I'm a homo, and I know that like acting is acting and gay is gay, but like these guys couldn't kiss. Like,
yeah, that was a really weird bad kiss.
These guys couldn't do a fake
Fangs
kiss.
Looked like he was like, ugh.
Like KJ Apa did a better job. He was like, like, it was such a weird kiss. Like, love you, Fangs. Fangs are cute, but you're definitely straight.
And he's not the best actor either. Like,
no, but I feel like that had nothing to do with it. Like, bro, you can't even kiss another guy. Like, clearly you're straight. It was just funny to watch. Anyway, so Betty's taking these pictures and she's like, "Ooh, I got you, bitch." And then it cuts to Archie and he's in the boxing ring that he bought, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
he now owns.
From Hiram. And he's practicing and he's like fighting. And Josie comes in and then Archie's like, "Let's just try this relationship." And then they start singing and so they cute. Start dancing. It is the cutest, one of the cutest numbers.
He's like throwing her up in the air, like twirling her around. Like, it was twirling her around. Cute. Oh,
like throws her on the bars. Like, it was just so cute, so adorable.
Like I said it this the first time. There's something that happens to KJ when he's with Ashley Murray in a scene together. I don't know what it is. She's the same. Like, she's always been the same girl that I've seen on screen, but he turns into like this really confident, really like, I don't know. There's something different. Maybe it's just me, but I see something totally different when I watch him with her.
He like lights up for sure.
Yeah, he lights up. Like, it's so freaking cute.
Right. So anyway, they're super adorable. At one point in time, he like gets down on one knee and is like, "Let's do this together." I was like, "Bro, you're taking it way too far."
Did you even buy a ring?
Like, yeah, he's like, "I'm in a ring, so that is your ring." She's like, "No." No, he did say that though. So then it cuts to Betty at Principal Weatherby's office, and she gives him the picture. She's like, "Yo, this cult is crazy. Like, they're recruiting people. Like, it's nuts." And Weatherby's like, "But it's like a club, so it's fine. It's not a big deal."
Because she wants him to shut the production down. Is that why she's showing him the pictures?
Yeah, I think she just wants somebody to like pay attention to her for like the first time ever. Like, she's like, "This is fucked up. This school is fucked up. This church is fucked up." And Weatherby's like totally unfazed by it, which leads her to believe that Weatherby's
he's
like
so
a part of it.
Sketch, yeah, totally.
For sure, he's a part of it. Like, he's so sketchy. So then she calls Jughead and she's like, "Yo, bad news. Like, Weatherby, I think he's a part of it." But then Jughead's like, "Don't worry, my news is worse. Like, come over." And then it cuts to Cheryl waking up. This is also another Heather's moment, like Heather's movie moment. And she wakes up. She's got the ribbon in her hair. And somebody walks in. It's like the same shot where she's like at the foot of the bed. And she's like, "What is that? Cyanide?" And then it's Tony and she's holding a cup of tea. And she's like, "No, it's not. It's a peace offering." And then she like sips it to like show that she didn't poison it. Oh no, she doesn't say cyanide. She says drain cleaner, which is exactly
it was like Drano or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and Tony basically like breaks it down and it was like a really, really cute moment between the two of them.
I was honestly very shocked. I was like, I can't believe, like, Tony is so effing mature. Like, who does that? She's like, what are we even fighting about?
Yeah, and she asked like all the right questions. She's like, "What was love like in your family?"
Like, come on,
I
homie.
was like, wow, this is so deep.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is so heavy. And then Cheryl answers it, and it's very believable when you understand like her relationship and her like craziness and where it comes from. Like, you have to remember like her psycho family and how her mom's a psychopath basically. And she basically says like it was all or nothing in our family. It was either like we loved each other to death or like we hated each other so much. And she was like, in all that darkness, I had Jason, and then he died. And then I wasn't that happy until I found you again. And then you were leaving me. And then she's like, "But I'm not gone. Like, maybe it's not too late for us to figure this out." And I was like, this is so cute.
It was so cute. Yeah.
It was a really cute moment. It was such a
good moment. And like, honestly, shout out to Tony for like doing that. Like, how does she, she's just so...
She's so awesome. Mature.
She's so mature. She's awesome.
And then it really beautifully tied into the next scene, which was Jughead and Betty going to the trailer.
Yes.
And Jughead basically sees the trailer and he's like, wow, like they really turned it into a drug lab basically.
Yeah.
And
it was really
Betty's
sad.
like, it was really sad. He's like, this is my childhood home, you know? And he just gets really emotional about it. And Betty's like, I'm so sorry. And then she starts singing the song 17. And she's like, why don't we just like live this life? Like the lyrics are basically like, let's just be 17. Let's just like do like kid things and like live our best life. And it was just so
which is what cute. I've been saying this whole podcast. Yeah.
Why can't we just be like teenagers and like do like regular drama? And so anyway, so she's just singing and just like loving up on him. And it was such a fucking cute duet. They start singing. Cole starts singing. Like I was like, oh, so many emotions.
It keeps cutting back to Shoni singing together. Like it was just a very cute like montage sequence. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. I was so into it. It's probably one of my favorite moments of the episode. I got so emotional by the end of it because it's not even just like Cole Sprouse is singing because like that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was also like Jughead is having like a huge moment. And sure, I was also thinking about the fact that like the only reason why Cole Sprouse was probably totally okay with it was because he was singing with his girlfriend. Like, let's be real.
Totally. Yeah.
And seeing them sing together, I was like, it made me feel like they like sing together and they practice together, like when they were like together in bed or whatever. Like I just like got all these fantasies in my head about like Lily and Cole, and I was like, this is adorable. I love them together. They're so cute. And yeah, so Cheryl and Tony have a beautiful moment at the end of that scene as well, where they basically make up and they sing and they kiss. And
I think cute. Just for overall for the season and what we've been saying about this season, it's like they're literally saying what we've been saying. Like, why can't we just be like teenagers in high school and like dealing with like regular day shit? And I'm over here being like, please do that. Like, go guys, go back. I am so down for you guys going back.
Like, listen to these kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll talk about that at the end of the episode, but it almost feels like that is what it was gonna go into by the end of it all, right? Like they all turn into.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
So then it cuts to Pop's diner, and Jughead basically is like, okay, well, here's the plan. Let's steal this trailer while everybody's out at the musical. And Betty's like, or you can just like let this go and like let go of this part of your life and like be okay with it. And I was like, but why aren't you backing your man at this point? Like you've already taken him like 90% of the way. Why are you like backing out now? Yeah. But I guess she just doesn't want him to like get into some crazier shit. But like, I don't know. It was a weird moment for Betty to say like, just let it go though. I'm like, but this is the whole mission, and you said that you would help. Like, that's literally all you wanted to do this whole time. Then it cuts to Veronica and Hiram, and they're having breakfast, like such an awkward breakfast. And Veronica's like, why can't we work this out? Like, why can't we just be family again? And Hiram basically breaks it all down. And he's like, well, it's because your mother tried to kill me twice, and that's the end of the story. And Veronica's very like shocked by this as well because she doesn't know this whole story, right? Because it was never revealed who really tried to shoot him, right?
Oh yeah.
It was
like her face did not look like someone who knew the plan. I think she was totally shocked. Yeah,
she was definitely shocked. So she was like, wow. And then Hiram's basically like, since you and your mom basically betrayed me, there is no family.
Yeah.
And Veronica's like, wow, I'm so like cheesed right now. And then he like cracks his egg, but like he doesn't even eat it. And that was like the worst part of the whole
want to know who eats their eggs like that. Like, guys, please comment below, because like I really want to know someone who eats their egg that fancy as fuck egg. How do you eat an egg? It's like so like soupy and like watery. Like, is it even cooked? Have you ever eaten an egg like that?
I've never eaten an egg like that. No,
it doesn't even look good.
I've eaten a poached egg, but that's not a poached egg, right?
That's not a poached egg. That's like fully raw. Like you have to eat it with a spoon and like soup out. Like, the freaking
I think it's a soft boiled egg. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about eggs again, but eggs. Well, so then it cuts to Veronica.
What did you just say? Eggs?
I was like, eggs. Moving on. So then it cuts to Veronica on stage, and she sings like her solo moment, and it's like, it's a really sad song. She was
it is super sad.
She's like, there's like not enough room on this tiny little lifeboat, and I was like, Jesus, this is. She's
like, I need a lifeboat because I'm sinking. My life is so sad. I was like, Jesus Christ. this musical took a really left turn.
Yeah, it went from big fun to her like standing in it, like,
but it was
by herself.
The way they shot it was gorgeous. Like I love that final shot. Oh my god, it was just it was really nice.
All the swoops and like even her hands, like the way she was like seeing how like she just like can't hold on to anything. I feel like Veronica's finally going through some really tough shit, right? Like for this entire season we've seen her be this like gangster girl, but now she's kind of turning a like, you know, her family's basically falling apart.
And I think what's frustrating with this is that I think this whole time she's either had to blame her mom or her dad for everything that's gone wrong. But now she's like, wait, now who do I even blame? Because my mom did my dad dirty because he was already dirty, and my dad did my mom dirty because he, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like she can't even blame either one of her parents. So now what does she do?
Exactly.
It's really
true. All she wants to do is save them in her little tiny life phone. It's so sad. Anyway, so then it cuts to Veronica the Bonui, and she asks her parents, she's like, I'm not parent trapping you guys. She's like, you guys, I just want you guys both to come as a united front to opening night. That's all I really want. And then it cuts to the Cooperez / the new Joneses place, because I can't even say that properly anymore. Like you said, I was so confused as to what was happening until I
feel like the furniture didn't even change. Like the couch. Yeah,
it's like the same couch. Like they basically saved everything. And it doesn't look like there was like any burnt areas at all. Like I was like, whatever, guys. Consistency, guys.
I forgot about that.
So FB comes in and he's bleeding, and I was like, you guys just did this for the trailer, didn't you? Like, it's so annoying. So he's bleeding on the face, and he's like, yeah, these like drugged up kids were on like thing, they were like fighting me, but I got them. And he was like, I'm so pissed off at these drug dealers, whoever like is doing all this, I'm gonna kick their ass. And Jughead basically like looks straight at his mom, and his mom's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, that's crazy. She's like, whoever did that. Yeah, she's like, this is weird. She's like, drug dealers are nuts. And I was like,
where do they come from?
Yeah, Jughead's like so pissed off about it. And then he decides, like in that moment, I think he's like, okay, we gotta go. We'll meet you at the thing. And so they like leave. And obviously I was like, okay, they're gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it cuts back to the school, and they're all setting up in the back room area. And once again, it mirrors exactly how everything went down last season in the
like them getting ready
Carrie
and
musical.
Stuff.
Yeah. And I was like getting so much fucking anxiety because I was like, oh God, someone's gonna die again. Like, why is this happening? Please don't do this to me. And then but then also I got confused because I was like, who's gonna die? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, no.
Like, there's not a serial murderer out there like trying to kill people. So anyway, it doesn't happen, and Jughead and Betty show up, and they're like, literally, it's like they jumped into dirt.
I'm like, did you guys not look at yourselves in the mirror? Like, you guys are covered in freaking like shit.
Fucking covered.
Who shows up like that?
And like, did you guys not just like gas it up and like light a match and run away? Like it's like you guys like rolled around in the fire. Yeah. Like you rolled around in the ash. Like it was so confusing.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to mirror like the end of the Heathers, where like she literally comes out and she's like covered in soot.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, so they have to clean up, and then Jughead is like, she's like, okay, you're gonna be on stage with me, and he's like, what the fuck? He was like, I'm singing.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, just like this one little moment, let's sing. And then so while they're singing, it shows them actually committing this crime, which is blowing up the trailer.
Yeah.
Like making it catch on fire. And this is very Heathers. If you guys, obviously we've already spoiled
it. And then like,
it for
because then they cut to them in the car and they start like fucking basically. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. It's totally like.
It's basically that.
The excitement of killing something.
It's so exciting, blowing shit up. And so yeah, anyway, they're all singing, and it's such a cute moment, like seeing them
so
all
cute.
Like all of them are holding hands, and like everybody's up there, like Jughead's up there, everyone's up there, and they're singing, and they're talking about like wanting to live their best life and like be 17, and like all the parents, I was dying because the parents were like, "Oh my God, are we bad parents?" Like
the parents' reaction was the best part to all of that.
Best part,
they were like, "What the hell?"
They're like, we really fucked our kids up. The
best part was right before they get onto stage, Veronica like checks the audience to see if her parents are there. And they're just sitting front row, but like they look so tight. Like they're not looking at each other. Yeah. They're not talking. They're not blinking. Like it was.
She's like,
hilarious.
Mommy, Daddy, are you there?
It was so awkward.
So awkward. I will say that I did miss Fred in the crowd. I don't know if you noticed that.
Was Alice even there?
No, didn't see Alice there either.
Yeah, she wasn't.
But like,
there
I guess
either.
She could have an excuse because she's probably like at the farm. But like Fred, like
no. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Fred was literally not there. I was like, why? So anyway, they're singing the song. By the end of the song, it was a really cute reveal. Everyone starts stripping and I'm like, okay, wait, what's happening? Like, is this another like Sweet Pea moment? But they all take off their like costumes and they're wearing their real clothes. And so Betty's wearing her like Jughead crown sweater and like all the kids are basically like Jughead puts his
iconic outfits on. Basically. Yeah.
Right. So it was like so cute to see them and they're all like, we're gonna be us now. Like, it was just adorable. And everybody's like done. They finished the song and the gag of the episode.
Oh my God.
It is the moment that we've all been waiting for. I
love how they did this. I honestly, like, I have to say, this justified everything about Edgar because it was a really cool reveal.
We've been saying it for like clearly like half the season now that he needs like a really amazing entrance and appearance. And they really did a great job because I was like, I honestly didn't expect it. I
didn't expect it at all.
I think there was someone that did mention on our Twitter feed at one point that like he was going to show up in this episode.
They did say he was going to show up, but I didn't know when. And I'm like, oh, I guess he's not going to show up now. Like it's almost done kind of thing, you know?
Right. And I was also so caught up in the musical that I didn't think about him at all. Totally. I was like, who cares?
Yeah, totally. So they basically finished the performance and then like there's no like initial applause, but then there's like
I was like, why is it?
Yeah, I'm like, why aren't you guys getting up? Like, what the F? Everyone's like so shook. There's like a slow clap from like the back middle of the crowd. And then you see like Chad Michael Murray like freaking standing up in his like white outfit and he starts clapping. And then like everyone, not everyone, but like certain people in the crowd that are wearing white as well, who are like, I guess from the farm, they start getting up and clapping. And it's basically like creepy. The room of farm people clapping. It was so creepy. Like Principal Weatherby was clapping. Like it was so eerie.
Yeah.
But it was so like, good
still. Yeah. It was such a good ending. I was like, wow, Riverdale, you got me again.
No, for sure. They came through. I'm so impressed with that. I'm glad they really waited for that reveal because the way they did it was really cool.
Yeah, I loved it. That's the episode, guys. Let's get into our recap roundups.
Recap roundups.
Best moment.
What was your best moment?
My best moment is two things. It's when everyone, like all the kids realize their drama, like when Sweet Pea's like, Josie like left me for Archie, like when that all happens. I love that because we finally get to see everyone reacting to each other's drama because no one even knew what was happening in each other's lives, right? And then the second part that I did love was when they were singing 17 to the parents and all the parents were like, holy shit, like where did our lives go?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like we're so old now, whatever, but I like those two moments.
Yeah. My best moment is gonna have to go to Archosi and Shoni singing, and also before that where Cheryl and Tony had that beautiful moment in the bedroom where they were like kind of like making up. I just loved that sequence so much. Like I loved watching like the back-to-back singing between the two of them, and their relationships are really adorable. And yeah, it was great. I loved it. The musical was so good.
No, it was really good.
And they did a great job. Like the editing was great too.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
My WTF moment, I think, is gonna go to Edgar. Edgar's slow clap at the end. It was such a good reveal. I was like, oh my, because you're right. Like I definitely got caught up in all the music and the singing and didn't even remember that like he was supposed to like show up in this episode. Right. So when it happened and he like emerges from the crowd, you're like, oh my God. And it's Chad Michael Murray. Like you can't freaking miss that guy. He's freaking beautiful. So
well, let's talk about that really quickly because I don't think we're gonna get another chance to talk about him. What did you think of like Chad Michael Murray? Like we've only seen like literally 10 seconds of him, but how do you feel about it?
Honestly, like I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. I think I totally understand the appeal as to why these women are like falling for him and they're believing in him.
He's fucking hot.
I think he's gonna play it well. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I'm down for it for sure.
Yeah, I was totally into it. Seeing him in that role, I think that like even when he he very much looks like that hippie, like
totally with his
cult
beard
leader,
and like
super like that's the thing. People have to remember that when people lead these cults, like they're charming people. People get like they are around them because they have this magnetic personality and this pull to them, and he obviously has that. Like he's got this charm. He's fucking handsome, and like when he winks at his daughter at the end, I was like, ooh, you can wink at me any day, boy. Like I'll join your call, boy. Like it was weird. I'm gonna have really mixed feelings about the rest of the season now that Edgar's the villain.
Totally. Well, that's the idea, right? Like
exactly. Like it's true, because we were even talking about it last episode. Like, is the farm even really that bad? Like I'll convert. Like I will go to there. Like I'm down. My WTF moment is Fangs kissing Kevin, because I was like, the fuck is happening? Yeah. First of all, in the grand scheme of things, it was completely unnecessary. Like watching it back now, you're like, why did that happen? Are they going to be in a relationship now? Like, and why would they be in a relationship? Like Fangs never even showed that he was like interested in guys at any point in time.
That's why it's a little confusing.
Like obviously Fangs is super handsome. Like he's such a cute character, but like it's just so random. And like that kiss, like if we're ever gonna see like a fake gay kiss like that again, like please, let's not do that.
I agree.
MVP.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP I think is gonna go to Cheryl. And not necessarily like that I was like she did anything good, but I just loved her character this episode. I think she plays
fun to watch.
She's so fun to watch. She plays the villain so well that like you want to like root for her, and like you want her to win in the end somehow. And like even when she's being petty, even when she's being immature, you're like, dude, like I love you. Like you're so effing funny.
It's like, give me those high kicks, girl.
Yeah.
Give me them high kicks.
You know what? It wouldn't have been the same without her. Like Madeline Petch, like this girl's like so talented. It would not be the same without this girl.
100%. And like that's the thing, she can play like a total bitch, but she can play really vulnerable and broken so well. Yeah, like she really embodies Cheryl in such a great way.
Yeah, sure.
I'm finally glad to see like our good old Cheryl back. Like she's cool again. My MVP is gonna go to Jughead, because I think that like despite everything, he tried to save his family in his own way, and more than anything else, like he got to sing, so I was down for that. I was into it.
Yeah.
I was definitely into his singing.
LVP.
Who's your LVP?
My LVP, like, I don't know. I had a probably, I don't know, probably Kevin. I know yours is Kevin too, but I didn't really have anyone else that I was like, that didn't impress me. I don't know. Everyone else was pretty good.
Kevin, like, and that's the thing. Kevin was also like not completely unimpressive because I loved his perm, but like for the most part, the fact that he's like a part of this cult gang now, I'm just like, what are they doing with his character? Like it's a huge question mark for
and
me.
Like she drugged him so easily, and he didn't even like he didn't even understand what was happening to him.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm having a nightmare. I'm like, no, you're high. like
yeah, he's just, I don't know, and like I really don't know how much, like I don't like his character. He literally only got some redeeming moments when he was doing some hip twerking. Like that's pretty much it.
Oh, his hip action was on fire.
Yeah, but beyond that, I was like, Kevin, you still fucking suck, and you're kissing Fangs for what? You fucking weirdo. Like, what's going on?
The best line.
What was your best line?
My best line? I don't have a best line, but I did love when Tony walks in with like the teacup. And like Cheryl like references like the movie where she's like, is that like Drano or whatever, like in the teacup? Yeah. And she's like, no, obviously it's not. So I just like that moment because I was like, oh, throwback.
Throwback to Heather's. Mine is from Archie when he says, if you do like me, let's start figuring out what we are, what we can be to each other. Let's clean the slate and fight for this. Let's fight for us.
Loved it.
You
know what?
Archie.
I'm gonna say this. Josie makes Archie smarter, because like he would have never said that with Veronica. Like that was so effing deep and so like so smart.
Yeah, it was so smart. He would have been like, "You want to fuck?" To like Veronica.
He wouldn't have said anything.
But he's like, "Try."
Is your dad home?
But you're right. He like tries really hard with her, and it's really cute to watch them together.
Totally, yeah.
I think you tweeted this out, but like I'm gonna be so fucking sad when this relationship ends. I'm gonna be fucking
don't even
depressed.
talk to me, because I'm like legit, like I'm I'm already like stressing about it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it.
For one, I thought they were gonna break up this episode, and I was like, okay, at least like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, at least you guys are like ripping off the Band-Aid early.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get over it. But like the fact that they like had this like freaking whole moment, they were like dancing and singing and lifting each other up, and now they're gonna break up with them. Like, man,
Crazy.
Really? Like, it
Crazy.
Sucks. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm scared to watch it. I'm scared to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, you know?
Yeah.
We'll see. That's the end of the podcast, guys.
That's it,
what
guys.
did you guys think? Make sure you guys are commenting below and letting us know. But we're gonna take this opportunity to thank our patrons of the episode. We got a few more this week. We got one from the Rewinder squad. Kate, thank you so much. And we got our Lit Rewinders, Tina Ann, Sarge, and Serena. And of course, our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamala, and our new girl, Taya. Hey, girl.
Hey, welcome. And if you guys would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive content, updates, and you get to see what we look like if you really want to know and you're curious. So check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind.
Yes. And also make sure you guys are checking us out on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and Facebook. We're everywhere, guys. So make sure you guys are staying connected to join the conversation. Like, subscribe, follow, review, and comment to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening.
Bye.